down 10. Big difference there. Indiana has struggled in the second half with the defensive boards.
Here's a three from Paul George.
8:51 to play. C.J. Wilcox, the last 2 years an L.A. Clipper. Aaron Gordon squares up against Lure. Backs in Lure. His hook shot rolls around.
Last 7 against the Saints, 48 grabs, 3 touchdowns. Just find a way.
He's on my fantasy team.
I don't care. I really don't. Just lock him up. Step back.
Difference between he and Ish Smith. You've got to play him over the top. Can't go behind on pick and rolls because he has the ability to step out and knock that one down.
Aaron Gordon.
You know, I've been around them parts a lot. You know, I'm right down the street in Baltimore, so I've seen those monuments and, you know, those sites millions of times.
Brings it to the front court. Alfred Payton returned during the timeout. So did Nikola Vucevic and Serge Ibaka. Augustine lets it go.
It is not easy to start a noon game on the East Coast, particularly if you've only been on the road 2 or 3 days.
Aaron's played Friday against the Lakers. They won it 109-90. They led wire to wire, leading by as many as 25 in that game. DJ Augustine well traveled. Ibaka forced inside the arc. Augustine 5 to shoot. A sidestep 3 on the way.
He's getting a lot of run tonight. 15 minutes.
Oh, hey, he's been good. He's been good his last 2 games. He's been solid tonight.
I ain't mad at him. There's Augustine off the screen. Napier on him closely after space for a triple.
It's interesting you talk about some of the scheduling quirks of the NBA season, but faced Cleveland last night after having played them a week ago, and we last saw the Magic back.
Ronnie Purvis checked in during the break. Aaron Aflalo and Bismack Biyombo. Gordon and Augustine stay on the floor. Augustine for 3.
Says the biggest change since these 2 teams met in December, the Pacers a better passing team. Paul George.
Let's see if they get that message here, guys.
All right, thank you, Dante. Fournier gives it to Aaron Gordon. He'll turn and shoot a follow-away shot.
15 in the first half. There's Onya. Now drop to Green. Green, the hard drive.
DJ Augustine still on the floor for the Magic. Here's Jeff Green against Ross. Green with a short shot.
Woo, that was rough. Thank you guys for your patience.
You worked hard at halftime.
Elfrid Payton. Interior teams are struggling early. There's been a lot of turnover on rosters.
Yeah, a lot of movement. Yeah, that's one thing that the collective bargaining
Has bounced back to retake the lead at 5. Magic, they have struggled. Matty missing their last 6 shots.
Well, 2 of their starters haven't even scored. You had Elfrid Payton and Jeff Green. They have not scored tonight.
Fournier.
He just made it.
Yeah, tough shot after a tough catch because the defense forced the ball at the feet of Green. That's why these guys are in the NBA. They can make tough plays. Stevenson.
All the way. All the way. Keeping it alive for his teammates. That one just a little too far for Aaron Aflalo to pick up.
Indiana just 2 for 9. The Magic just 3 for 12 shooting.
Along with Felicio. And young player Steven Zimmerman in the game.
Let me see. I'll take Indiana in this building in January. 80 points.
Payton 6 for 6, 14 points on the start.
He's got the basketball guarded by D'Angelo Russell. C.J. Watson moves into position.
Jonathan Isaac has returned for the Magic. 20-year-old rookie started the game due to an ankle injury to Aaron Gordon. Picked up 2 early fouls.
At 29 per game. 41 times this year they have had double-figure threes. That's how they can get back in games, especially after they...
And a really good block that I thought they were actually going to call goaltending, but the Jazz kept playing.
Now Augustine, top of the key. 3 is good.
Play up, and good decision by Josh Smith on the find.
Gorman missed on his last 3 badly, but makes the adjustment. He has 4 tonight. George trying to answer.
Pacers 27, Magic 21. Gerald Green.
What an opportunity. So an opportunity for him. So you see the matchups as they progress. He was on Brian Anderson there for a little bit.
The man that's been to Pro Bowls, All-Pro, won 3 Super Bowls, protected Mark Rippon one season to the tune of 9 sacks the whole year. And if anybody should be in the Hall of Fame, it's Joe Jacoby.
The Magic have outscored the Heat 24-3 to put their 24 fast break points into perspective. Golden State leads the league in fast break points a game. They average 22 a game. Right. The Magic just have 24 fast break points and a half.
Defense kind of comes up on him. That leaves Double T open for the lob pass.
Isaiah readily has looked for him since he became a Cavalier. Tristan's got 12 and 8 working. So he's got a season-high in points beyond.
But it's the guy who's being screened for that has to set up his man. So all Rashawn has to do is stand and hold his ground. You run your man off of the screen.
So you're tempted not to move.
Exactly, so you don't need to move.
August.
Green. Watson for 3. Gordon. 3 in a row.
Have to be impressed as well, guys, with the play, as you were saying, out of Orlando's backcourt. DJ, Shelvin, Mack in the first 2 periods.
Celtics still outscoring their counterparts in Orlando 28-10.
I mean, Larkin by himself has 10.
Isaac.
This is the Bucks' biggest lead of the game. Augustine is back with 1 due. To Ross. So it's not all things equal. Ross.
Pointers. Let's keep the Bulls and keep the pressure on defensively and put the hand notice.
And I was able to talk to Stan Van Gundy earlier this season, who was Jameer's coach while he was in Orlando.
Just continues to do a good job of his decision-making with the ball in his hands.
Had his first career triple-double against Toronto. There is the first
point game again. Augustine covered by Butler. Ross over Towns, the 3, the son of a professional baseball player.
He's got all the things, right? He's got the wingspan, the big hands.
Blazers, of course, acquired another first-round draft choice from Denver in the Nurkic deal, giving him 3 in the upcoming draft. Whatever he does in March, he needs to do in October.
Yep. Nice career for himself for an undrafted player.
Yeah, he has.
Mario, his own.
January 8th. He and Elfrid Payton, in fact, the last time these teams played, January 1st, were off the bench.
I think Frank was trying to look at what he could get from a defensive perspective with Biyombo. But with Vucevic, you've got one of the
line tonight.
21 made free throws, ties their season high. That's a number that they made in Charlotte.
Coming up, tough schedule. The schedule doesn't get easier.
A lot of road games December, plenty of road games in January. Flattens out a bit in February. Gordon
get backwards and step on the out of bounds line.
6.5 to play. Third quarter. Hansbrough right to work. And
matched up against the rookie Isaiah Whitehead. Vucevic backdoor.
From the perimeter, the Magic still doing a pretty decent job protecting the rim. Oh, nice.
Beyond the three-point line.
Oh, nicely done.
Spencer Hawes. Wilcox to Hazonia to Rudash.
You got that right. DJ's engaged, and he'll be looking to get all the rebounds and block shots. Fournier hopped through the paint.
Oklahoma City. Good opponent there. Utah, talented young team. Fournier coming off the screen. Lopez with a dozen along with Kuzma.
Magic have got to get back, David, to how they started this game. Again, 22 points in the paint in the first quarter, only 6 in that second quarter. Just settling a little bit too much for that long jumper.
And the Lakers are vulnerable, as you pointed out. Healthy Thru Holiday. It's 3 very good players. This team could make some noise in the Western Conference if the pieces fit and they get some injured guys back. Rajon Rondo is going to be back probably in about 2 weeks. Nice.
Taking care of the basketball. 8 turnovers in that first quarter, just 4 since. Defense obviously getting much closer to the Indiana Pacers.
Tonight's game has not been much of a thriller from the Magic perspective anyhow.
Nice.
Damian Rudash, a 3-point shot.
And made the lineup change, trying to help this ball club win some basketball games. BP delivering right now.
Here's Ibaka. Well, 18 should be enough to get something done. Vucevic, Elfrid Payton, Serge Ibaka matched up against Love. Ibaka. Magic got off to a good start in the first quarter. They had a 10-point lead.
Rajon Rondo in the lineup, and that might help.
Well, I'm not sure if that's going to happen, just passing him in the hallway. I think you have to basically go big against the Celtics, exploit Wade and Butler, and see if you can just basically out-talent.
Three, but it was only his second 3. The Magic as a team, though, are 8 of 18 from deep. He'll try a long 2 this time.
His length.
6 points now for Gay. He and DeRozan have combined for 15. All their points. Here's West again. Another jump shot in.
Ready to go. But yeah, defensively, we're just seeing a much better quarter. Type of typical defense that we have seen from Indiana all season long.
Off a pass by Ty Lawson. So Lawson is going to put some pressure defensively. And when I'm saying defensively, George Hill has got to be aware where Lawson is, because that's going to be a good matchup. I like the matchup on the other side.
Shoot around, but no matter what's wrong with him, he could have ice over his whole body, and you know he's going to play. Yeah, he's a gamer. He's going to come out and play no matter what. But that was a great possession by Milwaukee there. A lot of ball movement, a lot of body movement.
Magic scored 26 points in that quarter. Outscored Indiana 26-24 in the third. Jeff Pendergraft.
In the second quarter, while the Magic are 7 of 11, which has enabled them to get to within striking distance. Got it to 7 a minute ago. And Vucevic.
Orlando will bring it up in a tie game. 61 all. 3 minutes to play third quarter. Wesley Matthews scored just a moment ago.
Fournier down the baseline. Going under the defense is Augustine. 9 on the shot clock as Gordon goes to it.
Became a Pacers fan back in 2004. Had a chance to meet him before the game. Quinn, he is here for 2 weeks to watch his favorite team. He said he felt...
Sacramento with 7 turnovers now. The Magic has committed 6.
Kings have done a nice job of getting back in transition, not letting the Magic get anything going on.
Certainly that's a huge benefit for you. Did it on the defensive end and also able to knock down the tray ball.
Augustine, Fournier squares.
18 years for LeBron. Thinking to Jonathan Isaac, he was 5 years old when LeBron broke into the NBA. So
Biz against the Wiz.
Here's Simmons. Giving a little bit of...
That breaks a 16-0 Orlando Magic run. We've seen Frank Vogel go to this defensive-minded lineup. First points of the game. He is so consistent. Karis LeVert has been so solid for them.
The pace, the assists on each field goal. Alfred Payton plays a put out.
A pair of free throws there for Moutier. 16 now in the game. Be very active. Finds
George Hill back guarding Payton. They switch. Burks picks him up. Now he switches on Vucevic. Back out to Payton, left alone for 3.
Point. The Hawk lead. Biggest of the night at 15. Fournier. Touch pass to Payton.
Going to utilize his strength. Down on that low box.
He plays 15 minutes a game and he gets about 5 post-up opportunities.
Great for the Magic. Ball, free throw, and possession.
You can't do that, Jeff.
No, you can't.
It's a flagrant going. He has no points, no rebounds, no assists.
Taking a shot. Be jolly and giving. So we'll give him back to the fans.
Any good specials at Wine and Dine recently?
Field, which meant a lot of rebounds, which meant a lot crashing the glass. David Fizdale said, we can't have everybody crashing the glass because they're running out on it.
May give you a little more versatility in defending the pick and roll, but because you still be able to take advantage of that.
West of the way. Tyler Hansbrough getting ready to check in. He was a catalyst for Indiana in their second quarter comeback. George. West all alone. Thomas left.
The ball, so Paul George has got to be wise with Carroll on the floor.
Paul George. Here's a step back.
In the Western Conference here.
And again, you look out, no Kobe Bryant, but you think back what Dwight Howard did in Orlando uniform as Paul George
in his hand, his shooting hand, because the defense of the Pacers were good. It was good.
Avery Bradley is coming up off the bench. I would assume he'll come in for Jason Terry. Here is Paul George. His 3.
Question about it. The nature of the way the game goes today, players recruit players, and they want to play with other good players. That's what happened virtually in Miami.
Changes, and all the ties have been here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's interesting. I was anxious to see what they were going to. They put Amir Johnson back on David West.
4-point lead, 98-94. Paul George, a 3.
Fournier covered up. Drives to the back. Fournier gets it to the release man, Vucevic. Watson guarded by Henderson. Fournier looking for the 3. Drives it on Embiid. Including last year, a 12-point loss at Washington on New Year's Day. Magic will have to stage a very large fourth quarter rally, and Indiana has been very tough to beat when they take a lead to the
by Jordan with 5 offensive rebounds.
They have 6 as a team. He has 5 offensive rebounds. Gordon taking the ball. Marco Bellinelli checked in during the timeout for Charlotte. No subs for the Magic. Gordon drives on Kip Gilchrist.
Thomas McCord had the orbital socket injury.
Lance missed 14 games.
First game of a 6-game road trip. The Magic have a lot of work to do.
But it could have been a lot worse if they didn't guard.
In the media room, stuff in your face. Okay? You eat faster than anybody I have ever met in my life.
You're right there with me. Here's Gordon. He works on Vonleh. Spins it. Joe Young checks in along with Lavoy Allen. Kevin Seraphin in the game as well.
Over the last 3.5 minutes now.
Yeah, that's the key. The last 3 minutes they haven't been able to scratch.
And the Magic just over 50%. They've outscored the Lakers bench-wise. Vucevic has come off the bench.
Another guy in the NBA as well-traveled as Ish Smith right now.
I think so. That's 10 teams that he's played for. A couple of guys have played for 9. It might be the only one who's played for 10.
DJ Augustin would be the guy that...
Ask you a question. Without Marc Gasol being the defensive director out there, how do the Grizzlies get organized defensively? Because they rely so heavily on him. They get organized defensively.
Well, I think now is an opportune time for everyone to have a hand.
So far, so good. The Magic lead by 3. Trying to break San Antonio's 9-game winning streak. Here is Ibaka driving the lane. Pitches it to Gordon.
That was saying, you look at Kyrie Irving when he really exploded. And you look at Steph Curry when he kind of exploded, came into age.
Definitely. And the fact you talk about someone who's comfortable in that position of
There's Mounier and Ntilikina. What about Burke? What is his role going to be here?
Zonia gets inside.
Well, Brian Hill is smiling and saying, JT's throwing me under the bus again.
You know he's saying that. Vooch lobs it up for Gordon.
Those 3 unfold. Philly would give us the most trouble. Yeah, and Philly's playing at a big level right now. Ilyasova, Bellinelli. Ooh, nice move by Sid.
Way in from Dante or straight to the truck. What's your thought there?
Let's ask Dante.
Well, guys, I would be curious for, and the Magic fans would too, how many times have the Magic...
Brooklyn 5 threes. And Quinn Snyder said this multiple times. He's got the green light. He like to have put up 9, 10.
Use a lot of effort.
3.5 to play here in Orlando. Pacers with a win. The Magic number just 1 to make the playoffs. Ross.
Toward the team Pacers basket, he's hard to stop there because he's willing to take the foul even if it means he'll get hit and fall down and get knocked down.
5 minutes going by in the quarter. Ross.
Basketball. You got to make crisp passes. Victor Oladipo is around. Terrific defensive instincts.
Numbers don't lie.
Skewed numbers.
Here's Rodney Purvis.
You mentioned earlier that first half he had against Indiana in the earlier meeting. He's definitely on the scouting report. Late pass, hidden Garrett Temple, and he sees he doesn't have it. Kick it to Buddy for the tray.
74-68.
Fournier.
Since the beginning of the second quarter.
Well, they put the taller defender and Jeff Green on it, thinking that might help.
Green, good stuff. That 3 by Johnson, not so good for the Magic. Now 4-point game. Fournier pressured by Tyler Johnson. Into the lane. Left hand. Now the Magic need to answer. Fournier has been Mr. Clutch for the Magic. He drives in a little bit, but when he gets to half court, I think they got to get out and run. Alfred Payton.
First 4 games, they've been out-rebounding their opponents by, 11 in Miami and almost 11 on an average.
Go ahead, JT.
Run the same play.
Yep. Get Meeks on the left side. Catch and shoot for Jody.
Randall back in the game.
Randall's been pretty impressive tonight, hasn't he?
He has. A lot of different things.
Rebounds on that possession.
I know.
Aaron Gordon.
Back to you guys.
They lead by 11 on the glass. Does Indiana tonight. Hibbert, by the way, picked up his 4th foul. Here's George going right by his time.
He's hit at least one. There's Danny Green showing up early on, and that's a matchup that we're going to have to keep an eye.
Surgery, but he says he will manage on Saturday. Kevin, his line was no fear.
He's now made 134 threes this year. Made 194 a couple of years ago at Golden State here.
With the score, he is starting the third quarter because JJ has a left oblique strain and will not play.
Be back.
Aaron Gordon able to start the second half for the Magic.
Tracy McGrady, right? Like you come to the game and he may give you 58 in part of a triple-double.
And have everybody talking all around the. They're on an 11-2 run. That's a three-point play for Blake Griffin. Griffin effect has been a factor tonight, but it's been the Ennis and Bullock effect.
Bulls continuing to thrive out on the perimeter, but they executed very well in that first half. Well, Aaron Gordon didn't help his cause as he's going to be the season.
You know what's really fascinating about the East in the NBA?
The all-time Magic block shot list. Gordon.
Indiana leads to a score for Memphis.
Memphis has scored 16 points off of 12 Indiana turnovers. As 7% three-point shooter, he has struggled. 25% coming in. Now just 3 of his last 16. Here's a mid-range shot, and
Azonia comes up shooting. Third field goal of the game. 2 threes and now a long 2 for Sarge.
This is a young man just coming over to the United States. And Red, we're having
into the lane. Green.
I bet that a lot of people in our viewing audience probably don't know who Bob Pettit is, David, or remember that name.
Yeah, you've got a good story.
Well, that it's just kind of one of those deals. Like, I remember forward to it.
Lakers by 4, 8:50 to play. Second quarter. Vucevic meets the 4.
down a deuce, and Orlando's got the ball. Augustine waits. Fournier squares up.
Minute into the third quarter. Offensively, they've moved the ball nicely. They've shot the ball well. So have the Magic, though. That's the problem. So they're still shooting.
Having him going forward. And I'm telling you, other teams are taking notice as well.
Orlando with a 10-4 lead. Fournier comes off the baseline.
Transition, and they have guys like Green, the ability to pull off the dribble.
Knockdown jumper.
Well, you said it right. Opportunities and making the most of it. You can have an opportunity and not be productive. Fournier.
Off from the perimeter.
He got 7 already. Fournier.
Amongst the applause when he was announced to start the game. That's another sign of respect and evoke the ire of the opposing crowd.
They move without the ball very well. They move the ball, and they're fun to watch. I think the crowd likes watching them play.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Mike.
Thanks, Rebecca. Fournier double team, kicks it out to Ibaka. Anthony contests. So I'm not supposed to bet with Marty Fish if I see him on the lane.
Do not. He can't give you enough.
No, a sports agent saw an article about his dad had beat up 14 people at one time.
Gun 4 for 5. Whiteside 22 points, 16 rebounds on opening night. The Miami down 11. Halfway through the fourth quarter.
Third quarter, the Bucks shot 76% from the field in the third quarter. They made 16 of 21.
Now for the Sixers, David. Rashawn Holmes is going to get his first action. Purvis wide open.
That works. 87-83. 44-16. Points in the paint advantage. Green hit.
Payton that time. Oh, he's right inside, and the layup.
So you can see he has an impact in a lot of different areas. This Hawks team's going to have to figure out a way to get stops and scores here with him on the bench.
Miami's defense has moved up several levels since the end of the first quarter.
Down by 21, the biggest lead of the night. Gordon, good look, top of the arc. DJ Augustine checked in. Magic point guard play has been very good tonight with Payton and Augustine. Green driving, dumps it to Vooch. Great catch.
Playing. Of course, we got to, piecemeal it out to him because of his return. But
8 points and knocked down his only three-pointer that should have had an and one.
That's what Minnesota needs from Shabazz. They need that energy and effort off the
Of them when they were really playing well. They were 6-2 at the time. And everybody was talking about the hot start that they got. Gordon against Markkanen, fades and scores.
And when we flew in yesterday, apparently it had been snowing all morning. Vucevic cross court to Payton. He found. And most, if not all of them, have been from the perimeter. Vucevic.
In that opening quarter, and more importantly, holding up to just 17 points.
Sweet tea right now.
I can take a little sweet tea too. Here, what is effectively late on the East Coast.
Here is a three.
That credit goes to Luol Deng, and now they make the switch to Jimmy Butler.
Here's George from outside. Finally got one.
Up is in. He had a 5-point first half. Shot clock at 6.
This is the same play.
Just 7 and 5. They have the Lakers at home on Sunday and then play 10 of their next 11 on the road as Paul points much of the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to win games when your opponents are scoring at such a high percentage in the paint. You have to. Very impressive. Coach Hill had a great point. We can't let Turner get going, and did a nice job in the first half on Bogdanovich as well.
I was talking to him about that week pregame, and he said he got so hot that he was starting to feel guilty about taking shots away from his teammates.
Head coach there, Norm Kay, quite a teacher of big men, so learned a lot from Coach K there. Interesting. Yep. Courtside, can we get a hat? I hope so. We should wear that on the air just to give it a little bit of extra incentive. If that helps, I don't know. But they get back so quickly in transition. Nothing there for the Magic. Fast break points tonight. Orlando 3.
To be back in the championship this year, even compared to last year, because he said the turnover, especially in the G League, of the roster is so great when you think of this year's squad, guys, compared
in the first quarter, only 2 in the third quarter. Orlando has 12 turnovers tonight, only 8 committed by Dallas. And we start the fourth. Mark Caldwell, Derek Harper, great to have you with us on Boxing.
Active roster, may not play, but they want the possibility of playing him. Just acquired a week ago in the trade with New York.
San Antonio did not go so well for the Magic against this Spurs team that is in desperation mode.
So we really needed to get Aaron Gordon back, didn't we? Yeah.
Team's performance. Steven Zimmerman checked in. Here's Wilcox. Podcast live on Fox Sports Florida, streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Side's first field goal of the game brings the Heat back to within 5. He's on this year averaging 16.5 points a game.
Starting point guard now for the Phoenix Suns.
Great story. Undrafted player.
They have 10 to play. We're in the second period from Chicago tonight. Fournier. Down the middle. This is 2.
Different though, right? It was his back a little bit, maybe a knee.
That's right. Fournier on the dribble
in a 3-week period.
Nice play by Vucevic. Isaac got a piece of it one time. He had to pick it up. Fournier for three. Lon Kruger to the final four. We're tied at 19.
I'm distressed after.
He took the jacket off and threw it after you gave the correct answer.
By the third quarter, we're going to be
LeBron James. As far as the guy that took really good care of himself physically, Karl Malone would be on that list like LeBron James.
So is it anything?
I'd like to see happen with T is that he gets C.J. Miles in the game offensively because he's had such a tough time.
Going toe-to-toe against the defending champ so far tonight. Here's Fournier. Firing from 15.
This guy is the guy that takes the ball out of bounds.
Yep. Magic went, I think, 5 years without winning a game here until last season.
Fournier out of bounds. But that's a fourth consecutive right at the basket miss for the Bucks.
One stayed up in this game by knocking down threes.
Alfred Payton kind of knocked knees there with Jeremy Lin. Now Lin trying to chase him from behind. Payton's floater.
Scores the first points of the night. The good news for Milwaukee is Malcolm Brogdon is returning to the lineup after missing 30 games with a quad.
All right, Hezonja handles with the Magic's lead down to 1. The biggest lead was 11, and DJ
with the ball. Vucevic on the bench. Payton on the bench to start this fourth quarter. The big play from Biyombo and Jeff Green, DJ Augustine. Tweet me or Jeff and tell us what you're thinking. What is something else? We'll deliver the best responses here in the telecast.
Augustine, it's for Thru.
17-point lead there. Largest spread here of the evening. Later after the timeout, sends Simmons off a high screen. 11 to shoot. Down low Vucevic again.
A little bit. Third year, just now finding his place on this team.
Orlando 5 minutes into the third quarter. And if we could bring a legend back every game.
He's part of the club now. That's an elite club to be able to rub elbows with those guys over the summer.
Much impact that Granger has in that area other than just scoring. Maybe very little, maybe a lot.
86, Orlando 64.
For them against the Suns. You can get one of them playing that well on a given night. It's a help.
Is turned over to the Pacers. Pepe had the right idea, though. He wanted to get it to Mike on that cutoff, but couldn't get over the top.
Under 30 seconds in the first.
Suspension. Well, Marv, who can put a string here of a couple possessions down the floor offensively?
Ability, it's tough to keep him off the floor.
I think with the other guys are more defensive oriented, Copeland will probably be relegated to the bench. But these two
38-30. Lance Stevenson.
So they weren't nearly as effective shooting the ball, so the officials have addressed that.
6-0 run, and Westbrook got the offensive rebound, created that. Steve.
Backdoor Augustine. No, but you've got to create a wall in there. Now, with Roy Hibbert on the post, he's got to get post low and early. Otherwise, he'll struggle because Duncan...
Opportunities to just catch and shoot like that, but when he does, it looks good.
12 to shoot for Payton. Fournier drops the ball between defense.
The big man stepped up. That meant his teammate was wide open. He gave it to him.
And Brooklyn again up by 10. Watson defending Augustine. 9 to shoot. George to the rim.
Per game?
Did you minor in math at DePaul? Because that was very quick, statistically.
I actually really enjoyed math.
Did you?
I thought I was going to get into accounting.
Point shots.
Augustine, Aaron Gordon behind a Vucevic screen.
Right there, he has a good touch on his shot. He's worked on his three-pointer. He was a poor three-point shooter earlier in his career, and then this past year, much improved from downtown. As Gordon shoots.
Now, Tony, if fans don't want the Bucks to face Miami in round one, why would they want them to face Indiana? I don't know who said that.
Magic hanging with them with a nice combination of the three-point shot and getting to the basket themselves tonight. Orlando down by just 2. Simmons backs in. Aaron Gordon. Longden, tenacious defender, matched up against the Swallows.
Augustine been limited minutes. They were early in this season, so Coach Kenny Atkinson just giving him a run. He's earned his minutes here. Playing very well.
22nd pick in the NBA.
Play what you determine Celtic basketball is. Gordon, Simmons, Vucevic, Ross, and Fournier. Fournier comes up.
First of many high pick and rolls that we'll see with Harden and Capella.
And you see the skill set of James Harden, not just a great scorer, David, but a terrific passer. Capella not needing to put that one on the ground very well, much like they did in Golden State. This is a team that can score points in bunches.
And they've been a pretty good home team. They're 9-10 here at the Staples Center.
Having won 17 in a row here at the MCI Center.
Yep. And
Verizon Center, excuse me.
Yeah. And that winning streak, Frank Vogel pointed it out, started right after the Magic beat them here on December the 6th.
Yep.
Ronnie Purvis checked in during the break. Aaron Aflalo and Bismack Biyombo. Gordon and Augustine stay on the floor. Augustine for 3. 4 just not long ago. Augustine. Good look for 3.
Long break. You don't have to worry about, playing tomorrow, the next day, or day after that. And I think you want to continue to add to this lead. And the Magic have a smaller lineup out there as well, so the matchups fit.
Bucks 3:30 to play. Dennis defending DJ Augustine. Turning is Hazonia. Back to Augustine.
Hey, Coach Jaeger is so good at that.
I will give him credit because out of timeouts, we usually get a bucket or a really solid shot, Grant.
43-42. That's 11 for Cauley Stein. 4th assist for Bogdanovic. Gordon spinning.
Gordon, top of the arc 3.
Of the kind that a player like Vooch, guy rolls into your legs, can be a disaster.
Gather, square, and make the right pass. Fournier. Again.
Steve Clifford liked the aggression of his team on the offensive end.
Shooting it all that well, just 1 point in the game. I guess he's got 4 now. He did knock down that 3.
Spates.
15 remaining in Orlando.
That's the only record Patrick Ewing didn't break of mine.
That's right. The assist.
Patrick, yeah. It's the only one I have standing.
6 all as we begin the extra period. First overtime game for both clubs. Fournier turning, getting inside.
Of Minnesota, Magic have battled back, but still have work to do with 5 minutes on the clock. Fournier turning the corner on Town.
With Jody Meeks, E.J. Augustine, and C.J. Watson.
Have a chance to tie the Bucks, even though Milwaukee has the tiebreaker. If the Bucks would lose tonight, Ross.
26-21.
We just need one more bucket, David, against this Raptor team. I'll give you a stat.
What you got?
When the Raptors...
Fox Sports Florida will match for an upcoming Orlando Magic game. Terrence Ross checked in during the timeout. Here's Ross to Mack. Driving the baseline. Jonathan. It's a key matchup with Nikola Vucevic. And we're underway on this Friday night from Phoenix, Arizona. That's
not a good game for the Niners, but we love it, and we want to know where you're streaming from. Send us your pictures every game night.
On the floor, Baines usually starts. David with Al Horford moving over to the power forward position, but I think with the Magic lineup and Aaron Gordon, they like this a little bit better.
Morris getting his 12th start of the year.
Grizzlies lead the all-time series 22-20, but Orlando has won 3 of the last 4, and the last 2 here at Amway Center. Fournier off the curl, got all the way in.
14-point lead in the first quarter. Led by 8 at the end of the first. Vucevic is back with Fournier. And Ross, starters back for the Magic. Vucevic has an open look.
Shield Nick Vucevic from getting over to give Aaron Gordon much help on that one. Wide open lane to the hoop.
Fournier sets up Ross. Now Fournier gets it back from Ross. Orlando has surrendered what was a 6-point lead. Fournier came off a screen.
You're putting a little bit more weight on winning championships, apparently, David.
All 3 great players.
Scores in the game, both off the bench, in Stauskas and Saric. Fournier floating.
A team that brings out a standing ovation from the crowd here at the Toyota Center.
What took them so long?
They don't get a lot of movement. You see how hard it is for them to get a good percentage shot.
Into the corner. Augustine of another thriller between these two Sunshine State rivals. Orlando with a 6-point lead. Shelvin Mack cross court to Spates. He's open
after that timeout. And then goes out and knocks down that clutch 3-pointer. That's a huge possession for the Bucks right there.
It puts pressure on.
Third from the top, and I think you recognize the other team at the top, one of his other former teams, the Rockets.
Stokes is fired. Thank you, Stephanie. After the timeout, Hezonja.
Shooting 53%. Magic 52% for the game. Biombo. Magic with the ball and the lead. Jonathan Simmons at the C.J. Watt.
Assistant coach Patrick St. Andrews, and Bembry loves to show off his passing skills. He just had a great opportunity to do so.
And Bucks sticking with this second unit.
I got a feeling, though, if Indiana wins this game, the Rangers.
Starters for Indiana. Hayward is guarding Green.
And there's no accident that they're going to Hibbert. They're trying to milk him.
And for Indiana, after not playing the first 46 seconds, is all they got in the first 3 quarters. Here's Hill left alone. Hits.
And he can push the rock as well. He can facilitate. He can penetrate and dish it out. Look at those field.
Coach Bud wanted.
Vucevic. Fournier pops the. After after the Pacers had a 13-point lead. Paul George, 8.
And he learned some really good things from Steve Nash when he was with Steve Nash.
Inside now to Hibbert against O'Neal. Here's George on the baseline and got it. Paul has 7.
A nice crowd on hand. It is India night here. Always a very popular night. He made 5 once, 3 a handful of times.
5 of the 8 made three-point field goals.
And then went on a 19-0 run to wrestle control of the game away. Ibaka.
Team have hit all 12 of their free throws. Elfrid Payton, limited time for him in the first half.
Come to the front court. 61 points scored by the Warriors. They were due a big offensive game.
And I talked about this in the pregame a little bit. I was a fan. I like to see that crowd as EP
playing with 4 subs and Marvin Williams. Weber, Lamb, Kaminsky, Bellinelli, and Marvin. Augustine.
Payton walks into the offensive set. Took a deep in.
Taylor won at the Rolex 24.
Pyper will set a screen. Fournier turns the corner.
Incredible start. We've had great partners like the New York Giants and Eli Manning, the New York Red Bulls, and the PGA. But tonight we are really excited at MSG.
3 to start the day. That's not the way to do that. Good job by Carmelo attacking the glass to get an easy one for himself.
At least 2 of the 4 they still have a chance to get to after losing in Brooklyn and Chicago. Out of the timeout.
Into the game as Felicio comes out.
So now it's 5
back.
Doing a nice job at least putting the effort forward on the defensive end.
Augustine in the paint, denied by Dedmon. And but the second unit once again outplaying.
Ross off the screen. Penetrating floater.
BA. Carlos Delfino's the old man at 30 years of age. Here's Paul George.
Milwaukee when he was held to 7.
He was a non-factor in that game, and you need that to happen.
And that's with Bamute on the shelf.
Yeah, he wasn't in that one.
You have to keep moving, and eventually something will surface, and it did in that particular play for Greg Monroe and Jose Calderon.
Shot clock at 7
for the Pacers. Per that x-ray, Lance does have a sprained right ankle, and he will not return to tonight's game.
All right, thank you, Brooke. He injured that ankle here to start the quarter. Paul George.
5:40 to go here in this opening quarter.
Here in the second. Payton.
Mario Hezonja. Now Hezonja.
Attacking the offensive board.
Hill.
Hibbert, West, Johnson, George, and Hill. Here's Hill, a 3.
This was his second. See Joffrey Laverne in the game now for the Bulls. They've been wanting to get a look. Here's Ross from outside.
Corey Joseph trotting onto the court for Indiana. Jonathan Simmons checks in for Terrence Ross.
About the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. Boston began pulling away. This is Anthony's lead.
Again, has battled a sore left calf. Second team all rookie last year.
And from West, as he walked around him, he got him with another elbow.
Orlando, and won games 3 and 4. Won game 5 then here to win that.
Elfrid Payton on the drive. He got
that you have to stay, which I think will build up the NBA game and it'll build up the collegiate game. I mean, think about it. Me, early 90s watching college basketball was the best I ever seen it. You're talking about the guys in Michigan, talent.
Fournier against Brooks. Fournier for three. Augustine defended by Carroll. Fournier, the jump.
Checking in. Fournier stays on the floor.
I bet his foot.
We will not speculate, right?
Nope.
Fournier down the middle. Right down.
Evan Fournier.
In the box score. The team chemistry types of things.
Yeah.
Leadership.
Not really looking at the hoop when he penetrates, but once he stops him, he doesn't.
On defense in terms of defending Korver coming off those pin downs.
They're hoping to get Josh Richardson back very soon as well. He's missed their last 16 with an ankle injury.
To 10 for the Magic with just over 2 minutes to play in the half. Evan Fournier. To Vucevic, back to Fournier, reverse.
Got to settle down here. Tough start for them, obviously. You know, when a team like Miami is one win from the finals, you can feel the intensity, you can feel the edge, and they've got a defensive mindset that is carrying over from Game 5. Hill.
Pretty certain your blog followers are going to call you out. They're going to do a little research. You'll remember a Donald Foyle traded. Jumper very high.
Magic have had a stretch of now 7 consecutive games where they have struggled defensively. Aaron Gordon.
And luckless with 3 tries from deep. Mo Spates backing down. With the school here in Florida, of course. Baseline.
Kicks down by 1.
Vucevic in that block shot category.
Alfred Payton to Nick Vucevic.
So long. Cupped it. Carried it. Turned it over. Ibaka for 3.
Job penetrating the lane, finding the open guy.
When he came into the league, the Spaniard was dubbed.
Chance opportunities. And Dwight Howard out now. The Magic should be able to contain this group of Hawks. Javier Rudez now in the game.
Vucevic nowhere close. Right. But you will get some intimidation, some shot blocking, some presence on the defensive end. They'll also get on the board.
He's got that are leading to those 13 fast break points, guys.
All right, thank you, Kristen. We'll keep an eye on that. Also, can you slow down that guy? Alfred.
Now the Heat have cut this deficit to 5.
Tyler Johnson was 1 for 4 in the first half. He's made all 6 of his shots here in the third quarter. Well, the Heat from 18 down to within 5.
December the 30th. I don't think they win that game at the Amway Center if Johnson doesn't do what he did.
He had a stretch where he didn't miss it. Yeah. And the EP trying to run. Biombo and Simmons just joining. Got tangled up down at the other end. Fell. Nice job recognizing numbers by the point guard.
Let's see if Gordon's still high.
Was scoreless in his first trip. He has 11.
At this point, he's trying to fit.
Quarter after the painful first quarter for Dallas on the offensive end of the floor.
It's amazing what shot making does for you.
It is the great deodorant of basketball, is it not?
His first 2 moves, and if you do your first move and then counter, he's going to shoot it again.
And here's his 3rd strike.
That's a good list.
That's a very nice list. And pass to George, takes it right in.
This time, I thought the good job was done by Stevenson to take that away.
Both teams are at home this week in Indiana Friday night against Toronto. Green gets inside. Boy, 1% here in the second. Johnson catch and shoot.
Layup on the sideline out of bounds.
The Lakers find their man, and Caldwell Pope with the lay-in. Jonathan Simmons pull up the...
As Barton has 8 points here in the first quarter. Now Simmons turn at the...
He can shoot the 3-ball. And being a 4-man that can do that, it really helps stretch the floor. And that's what you see a lot of today now, Ralph, is a lot of these younger teams, or I should say a lot of the teams around the league are
overuse injuries if they're cheering too loud, or all the crowd's going to get sore throats or something like that, because I've never heard of 5 games in 6 nights all at home.
Coach German. 3 great options and a great way to see your Magic play here at the Amway Center.
No doubt about it. This week, couple of games at home. Toronto, Memphis. Tickets available, and that big ticket giveaway.
George Hill works the wing against Brandon Knight. Clock at 8 for Hibbert. Down deep to West.
Yet it's a 2-point deficit. 79-77 as the Pels have outscored Orlando by 10 in the second half. Trying to set it off. Fournier off of that screen on the baseline. Ibaka on the run out. He's going to get there. And it
started bad. Yeah, that was not a great toss, and then nobody got it. Evan Fournier, the guy that comes out of there, is wanting it a little bit more.
Fournier coming off that screen, and we're underway. Glad you're aboard here on a Saturday night on Fox Sports Ohio. Eric Lewis, our crew chief, alongside Nick Booker. And
turns to Orlando. Started the career 1 year, went to the NBA Finals, had a terrific season. Simmons goes back.
And we see what Washington likes to do early in games. That's get an isolation situation for either March or Keith. And Keith makes the shot.
Fournier off the screen and
blocker. This is a good job not going for the ball fakes, but it froze him.
Barber put it over the top left hand. Should tell you who Orlando's playing without. Yeah. No Aaron Gordon. No Nick Vucevic. Jonathan Isaac, first-round pick, 6th overall out of Florida State. He's out.
Minutes a game. We'll see Jakob Poeltl behind him, another young player that they have.
And there's not much drop-off, is there?
No, there isn't. Belichick is having a pretty good season, averaging almost 12 points a game. He played very well against the Magic.
at the time, able to still go on and win the championship.
And, you know, I remember receiving a call. It was a Monday, and I knew they were going to call me whether I made it or not. And to hear the
Dario Saric with his third field goal of the game. 2 threes and now a long 2 for Saric.
This is a young man just coming over to the United States. And Red,
called it a 2. Leroy Richard just signaled to look at it, but he didn't make a call. And then he turned around and said 2.
Off the screen is Payton. Meeks open in the corner.
Threw it back there on the inside.
Yeah, unbelievable talent. Just 24 years old. JaVale McGee, 5th year. He's 7 feet. You saw him handle that ball, take it linked to the floor for the layup. Here's Hill for a 3.
Into this contest, averaging 7 a game. Had a season high 11 against Utah. Surpassed that here as Augustine.
Hill, who's not here, his strength and 6'4" frame keeping Felton out of that lane as well.
Good point. Shot clock at 7.
Got 4 off the Cleveland bench. Indiana's lead is 1. Johnson, Augustine, John Mahinmi for the first time. Fournier down the middle.
Alfred Payton matching up against Isaiah Thomas, the All-Star, for the 2nd consecutive season. Ibaka.
Issue right now. Well, as I said in the opening, everybody doesn't agree with Scott. This team in particular, with the bodies on it, their offense sparks them defensively.
Harden had the remarkable 50-point, 15 rebound, 15 assist night, the triple-double.
Chris Paul, David, 19 points, 18 assists in about 28 minutes. That's pretty good production.
Concern. Yeah, Red Nation really getting a good look at a great basketball team this year. Oh, the elevator door.
Anderson gets his first basket. Simmons on Payton out front. Mills trying to come through the screens as he was.
Of a couple guys in there for Orlando that are shot blockers.
Well, that's traveling right there. Ben Gordon received the ball, took about 6 steps over to DJ Augustine.
So Elfrid Payton returns Clyde. Magic still without DJ Augustine. Payton with the
Creed, Tony Fiorentino, Jason Jackson, and our Fox Sports Sun crew. All of us welcome all of you back to the Amway Center in Orlando. Aaron Gordon.
Member of last year against the Lakers.
Did they give him an assist on that or not? I'm not sure about that.
Well, he passed the ball, he shot it, made it.
We're tied at 91, 9 ties in this game.
Magic offensively very good in that third quarter, David.
With Fournier, Gordon, Vucevic, and Jonathan Simmons. This is the 5 that started for the Knicks. Moutier got his first start as a Knick. First start of the season.
At the Orlando Magic, right? Beat the Bulls in 6 games. You got Brian Hill in the building tonight, Jeff Turner. What comes to mind when you see those guys and think about that series?
I'm just reminiscing about Fred.
Officials tonight, Derek Stafford, Michael Irvin, and Josh Tiven. Make it Mitchell Irvin, excuse me. All right, underway. The Orlando Magic, a high-scoring basketball team. And
the game. A good three-point shooter. 18th in the league in that category. Got to stay up on him. That'll get him going.
3 of his last 14 on threes in their last 3 games. Simmons to Hezonja. He'll fire for.
In 2020 hindsight, obviously I was correct on that, but he did have an angle coming off the curl.
Fournier came off a double.
Really had nowhere to go with that one. It did go off of his head.
Yeah, Jay was right. Unreviewable, of course, until the final 2 minutes.
Payton came, excuse me. Plans of Bison men. 86-84 Hawks. Out it comes to Augustine on the curl. Fournier right to the front.
Off the bench, no question about it. Hezonja.
Game is kind of lost to us right now. There's the angle.
Fournier, nice feed to Vucevic.
In Cleveland to try to dissect some of that Cavs drama over the last few weeks. We'll be there.
21, the shot clock. West.
Does not have a 3-point field goal. They're shooting 40%. All the things Indiana wants to do.
I agree with, in fact, that he's not coming anymore. He's finished for the season. We have to move on. Nobody feels sorry for any.
George Hill in that corner where he's made 5 threes.
Well, you got shooters on the floor. Yeah, you got him in the corner. But a big part, you got to get open. You got to get open.
Here's Paul. He was the 4th overall pick in 2010. Think about that. Wesley Johnson was the 4th pick. Paul George was the 10th.
Great play. So he just hit Mo Williams with the ball on the arm.
Paul George has 15. Monte Ellis has 9. And here's Paul George. Leaves it.
Unbelievable. In the last 3 outings. Like unreal. Like he's coming out party.
Monte Ellis. That's a Turner. Ball fake. Jump shot.
I mean, Kyrie Irving talked to him before the game. Really got to take these next few games to really get sharp. Nice
home games. The Clippers here on Wednesday night.
Got to move quicker than that.
Jump shot by.
Rebounds, and despite the fact that Eric Gordon is now 2 for 11 from 3, they're going to take a look at Eric.
There's no doubt at the back. You got it.
There we go. Good setup.
I think when they really know for sure. Hibbert flashing inside.
For the Ohio State University, as they like to say. And he made the big shot.
Fourth quarter. Celtics just 2 for 10.
Got to put a body on Baines. Biz gave help. Somebody's got to give him help. Put a body there.
The 3rd point guard on this roster until they sign a veteran. Fournier with the catch.
Rodney Magruder, welcome to the NBA. You not only earned a spot on the roster, you earned a place in Eric Spoelstra's.
He's come back. He's rebounded better. He's shot it better. I think he's been as active as he always is. So I think he's done a very good job.
Everybody stay up. Keep my pop.
Magic coming off a 104-88 loss to the Celtics. Their second.
They didn't quite get to where Mario wanted. That's the play they drew up out of the timeout or out of the halftime.
Fournier open for three.
Defense by Jalen Jones with the hand on Gordon. Now into Biyombo, who has the 8-point first quarter working.
Well, that's important. I mean, the teams that are successful not only have great players, but they understand how to play together.
Well, that sounds about right, Paul, because I know in December the Magic bench was huge, and they've been big tonight. Here's Ross open.
Short clock. Magic have to execute quickly.
Payton gets it into Fournier. He's got a good look. Don't want to mess up your house.
Nothing worse than digging potato chips out of the car.
Need to have their magic number at 1. To make the playoffs for the second straight year, 6th time in 7 years, and 22 of the.
Jeff Green is checked in with Elfrid Payton. Ibaka kept. Inbounds pass to Ibaka. Let's see if it results in points. Shot clock is at 6. Ibaka.
On the corner. Games with a sore foot. Played just 3 games with Detroit last year with a broken foot. Gasol gambled on the steal. Ibaka wrap around.
This game. Magic have climbed to number 5 defensively. Inbounds pass to Evan Fournier.
As Gordon will inbound here along that right baseline with just 6 on the possession. Augustine steps back into the corner wide open.
They've taken the lead again early in the 4th. Fournier takes the inbound.